Three, two, one, action. Hello, welcome back to my live. As you can see from the title, I am painting again. So I'm painting these little eyes right here. And I do have two other little canvases. I have like, here's this one, and of course, here's this one. But I'm gonna see if today I'm able to do those, maybe. But also, if you can't tell, it also said it's snowing. So here, let me show you the snow outside. If you can see it. So yeah, it is currently, hold on. Sorry, I had to pull down the blinds real quick. But yeah, it is snowing outside. It is snowing outside for the first time. Hi there, John. How are you? Welcome back. How are you today? How are you today, John? How are you today? Hopefully I'm saying your name right. But yeah. So it is currently snowing outside where I'm at, and what's actually interesting is that it's actually the first snow, um, at least in my area. And yeah, I'm good. What about you? I have been, oh, okay, I'm gonna be honest. Chaos. Chaos. Um, my life has been a little bit chaotic for the past 2 weeks. Um, my work only had me coming in like one day, like this week, and one day last week due to the whole snowstorm. But anyways, so John, if you're still watching this, John, I actually saw your video of you jumping into the snow, and I just got one question to ask you. One question. How cold were you? How cold were you, John, when you jumped into the snow? Okay? How cold were you? Just tell me. Were you like just cold or because here's the thing though, I had actually stepped outside. Okay. Oh, come on, John. Wait, I forget, John, you live more up north, right? You live more up north, correct? Did you say you live in like, what was it, New York or Pennsylvania? I always forget. Very cold. I bet. Um, yeah. But so like I said earlier, if you haven't seen me, my name is Abby. Yeah, New York, Long Island. Oh, you live in Long Island. Okay. Well, quick question. Is it snowing there? Is it snowing there right now? I'm curious. Hi, Abby. How are you doing today? Is it currently snowing in New York and Long Island? Because I don't think I've ever seen, um, I don't know, or maybe I have, but I just forgot. But yeah. How often does it snow in Long Island? I'm very curious. How often does it snow? No, sunny but cold. Okay. Well, that's my answer. Yeah, so I think the more north though I've ever been, if I'm gonna be completely honest, is either when I went to Michigan or Pennsylvania, um, that's like how as far north I've been. I have never been like to New York or Vermont. Um, yeah, like I said, because the further north I've ever been to was either Michigan or Pennsylvania, and that was it. And I've been there both times when it was freezing cold. Probably upstate New York, they do. Hmm. Yeah, probably. Yeah, I do believe you. Like that's possible. Um, yeah. So, anyways, yeah. It is currently snowing where I'm at, and this is the first time. It's rare. Okay, it's very rare to wait. It's very rare for people for it to snow in Long Island. It's very rare. Sorry, I'm just curious by what you mean. Hey, hi. How are you doing today? Hi, Hayden. How are you doing? So, anyways, I was just here talking with someone about snow because it is currently snowing where I'm at. I'm doing great. Oh, that's good. So I was just talking with someone about how it's currently snowing in upstate New York. Dude, love the art. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you. So, yeah, we're just talking about snow. It is currently snowing where I'm at. It has been snowing since like 10 a.m. And I kid you not, it has lucky you. No, not lucky me because freezing in Minnesota artists here. Aw, the longest lucky. I'm in Florida, LMAO. Oh, you're in Florida. Oh, and Rebecca from Minnesota, artist here. Hello. Yeah, so I'm I'm from North Carolina. I'm from North Carolina. Um, so oh, that's just ugly. Yeah, so this is currently um the snowstorm that was supposedly supposed to happen last week, but then nothing happened. Literally last weekend we were supposed to get this type of snow weather, but nothing happened. Nothing. It was just cold. It was just cold. That was it. We just had cold. We had cold, we had rain, that was it. Okay? That was it. We didn't have no snowstorm, we didn't have anything like that. We just had I don't know, we just had pretty much what was like a normal day here in North Carolina or anywhere else when it gets cold. You know what I'm talking about, right? You know what I'm talking about, right? When you're in like a certain area or climate, climate where, it's just like, you're expecting snow, but then the next day, it's just cold and you're able to actually go outside and do things or like drive around and that's it. Like that was literally North Carolina. That was literally North Carolina last week. Okay? That was literally North Carolina last week. Or at least from us here last week. Like we were able to get around and just do what we had to do. But now since it's now snowing, um they said like this snow is supposed to last like up until like tomorrow morning. So pretty much by like So pretty much by like next the next few days we'll have like no snow apparently, or the snow is just gonna be gone. But yeah, um, all artists are unique. Yeah. Hey bud, have you ever heard of the no? Sorry, it's just I mean, why do people want to bring up weird subjects? Um, this person asked, "Are you Christian?" No. Do I believe in God and the devil? And yes, I do. And I do believe that there is a heaven and hell, but I don't know how to explain it. But growing up for me, religion has always been kind of, I don't know how to explain it. Basically, growing up, for me, religion was pretty complicated. Specifically, going to church. Going to church is what I'm talking about. So, I am Lutheran. Okay. Yeah, I am Lutheran. And don't ask me what a Lutheran is. I don't even know what being Lutheran is. But yeah, so I was baptized Lutheran. But when I turned 13 and my parents had gotten a divorce, um, and one of my parents started dating someone after another, after a previous toxic relationship, really. They started going to another church called the Baptism Church, a baptism church, which really I had nothing wrong with it, but then I don't know what happened, but this happened to me when I was like 16, and it basically involved me like going from church to church, meaning I felt like I don't know how to explain it, but I felt like I was just betraying one church for another. Specifically, I was betraying being baptized Lutheran and going to a Baptist church. And when I didn't go to a Baptist church, I would end up feeling ashamed. I would apparently be shamed for not supporting or not acknowledging a step parent's family's religion. And honestly, it just got very complicated for me. That's all I can say. Religion is a little bit complicated to me. Do I pray though? Do I pray? Yes. But do I go to church? If I'm being honest, no. I haven't gone to church since I was 18. I haven't gone since I was 18. And I know for a lot of people, that's like, oh God, you haven't been to church since you were 18. That doesn't mean I don't still pray. I mean, I do pray. It's just, you know, I just I just believe there's no wrong way to believe in God or the devil. Okay? I just believe that, you don't have to go to church all the time. And honestly, I think that actually really helped me. God loves you anyway. He doesn't care. As long as you believe in Him, I understand. He loves and does not. We all have memories. We are made up of pieces. The Marine Corps have a mural in their church of... What? Okay. I mean, if you want to know the strangest thing, pretty much when I go to my job every day, like right before we open up for breakfast, I always say a prayer for me and my coworkers. Excuse me, because I work in hospitality. Because I work in hospitality, um, it is a not a lot of people know this, but working in hospitality, it can get very complicated. Oh, here's what I got, by the way. Some days working in hospitality can be very complicated, and then other days, fairly simple. But yeah. Oh, thank you. So I always try to say a prayer for me and my coworkers before we start our jobs because you don't know what could happen when you go to work and well, and you don't know what could happen. But yeah, I always say a little prayer just in case. May I pray for you, please? Sure, why not? But yeah. So I always say a little prayer for myself and my coworkers when I'm at my job because, like I said, working in hospitality can get very rough. If yeah, if you know what I mean. Specifically when you have both good and bad days, and you're dealing with certain people who either want to ruin your morning or not. Okay. So, anyways, what should I talk about now? So my work schedule. I guess I should talk about that. I was an artist with 27 of us designed rings. Oh, oh, okay. Anyways, so my work schedule has been pretty crazy for the past 2 weeks. Cause so what started off as like 5 days off because one of my coworkers had ended up in the hospital and I was working 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I'd worked wait, 7 I was working like 10 day wait, no. Hold on. Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. 9 days, 9 days, 9 days. Okay. So I was working 9 days, and it was, not gonna lie, very tough on me because pretty much almost every day when I woke up, I had to um, wake up and go to work, and there wasn't one moment where I really didn't get like a full night's sleep. I didn't get a full night's sleep until Sunday night, actually, till Sunday night, and that was actually the first night I had ever gotten really any sleep. Um, because, well, yeah, it was the first night I ever gotten any sleep. However, though, yeah, that week did taught me one thing. That week did taught me one thing, and that is that, you know, you have to really take care of yourself and also remember you're human because there were times where basically during that week I had felt like crashing out, meaning I'd had moments where basically I felt like just falling apart and questioning my sanity here and there, meaning I had no idea if I was going to get through the next day of my shift alive. But lucky for me, I do have coworkers that care to help and, try to give me advice to help me, you know, calm down or help me de stress. But yeah. And then the week of my supposed like 5 day break or whatever, um, we get told that there's a snowstorm coming our way. And I remembered I had worked that Saturday Then the next day we were supposed to be out, but just turns out it's just one of those other cold days. And then I was back to work on Thursday this week, and then I was told that I wasn't needed in this weekend. So, yeah. So, overall, let's just say I know for a fact my paycheck is not going to be a pretty one. It is not going to be a pretty one, okay? And I got bills I gotta pay, okay? I have bills. I'm sorry, I have bills, okay? Okay? Because bills do not get paid like magically out of the palm of my hand, okay? I'm gonna be honest. I mean, I may have thought about that as a kid, but now as an adult, I fully understand like why some parents and adults really say like, you know, we need to save money for this and that, and we're currently putting money to for other priorities, specifically towards paying bills, if that makes sense. So, so yeah. But anyways. However, though, there is one other thing that I did learn from this year so far, and I can't believe that it's the last day of January. Okay, so here's what I got now. Obviously, it's not pretty, but I'm still working on it. Yeah. So what I learned so far this year, um, okay. One, I always got to remember to take time and remember I'm human. Two, don't let anyone try and tear you down, and also don't let anyone think that they have a right to speak to you the way that they think. Um, Three, don't let anyone take advantage of your kindness and they mistake it for weakness, because I've had that happen to me a lot. And another thing, and this is so far have been it's been very important to me, have a better budgeting skills, or really look over your finances and don't be afraid to like, look at your finances and like see what areas like you should probably work on more. And yeah, which I think is quite reasonable. And also putting money aside for things that you want to buy in the future. So, yeah. So that is one of the things, those are a few of the things that I have learned so far this year in 2026. Um, Still can't believe, like I said, today is the last day of January. Um, and I can't believe that a whole month has passed. Which, which can I be honest about? I feel like out of all the months, 2026 so far, um, I don't know why, but I feel like because I really wasn't working that much, January kind of felt like very slow, if that makes sense. Very slow. I don't know if people might agree with me on that or no or not, but yeah. So this month has definitely felt very slow to me, just because like the days just seem to like not really like, I don't know. I don't know how to explain it, but basically I felt like everything around me was just moving a little slow for my liking, and although I didn't hate it, it definitely allowed me to think about a lot of things. So, like, my future, my goals, my plans. I think I did posted a video on here, like a short video about like what I want 2026 to be about. And one of them is obviously better financial stability and yeah. And another thing, and I still can't believe this though, but so I was just at the store a few days ago, and not gonna lie, I went to the dollar store, my local dollar store, because I was not chancing myself to go into a Walmart because, I mean, have you seen what's been going on in Walmart because of the snowstorm? Literally, I've been seeing multiple videos of people going into like Walmart and pretty much almost taking like everything on oh they're pretty much just like taking everything. Like I saw pictures from my local Walmart, or at least a Walmart in the area where I live at, and they almost have like nothing in the fridge section except for a bunch of hot dogs. Like, I'm sorry, what? They took everything in the meat section but the hot dogs. Like the hot dogs. Out of all out of all the meats that were taken, the only one product that seemed to stay or really wasn't like taken or anything, it was the hot dogs. The hot dogs. Like hot dogs. Why? Like I don't know what to say. I almost feel kind of bad for the fact that like you know, no one wanted the hot dogs. And I looked at the photos and I was just like, you know what? If I went there right now, I would have taken all the hot dogs because you know what? At least it's still food. Although I wouldn't like eat them every day because then I'd get sick. But still though, still though, it's kind of crazy how like just I don't know. I don't know. It's just crazy how like something like this, a snowstorm happening, and you think of like the most ridiculous thing ever would be like, you know, people taking everything off the shelves at the stores, but no. Most ridiculous thing is leaving behind one product that just makes you laugh. So this is what I got now, by the way. And yeah, so it's not finished. It's not finished. So yeah, it's not finished. So please give me some grace. Um, yeah. Well, let's see here. So yeah, so I don't know why, but I just felt lucky that I went to my local dollar store because tell me this. Tell me why that when I went to a dollar store just a few days ago, they still had like plenty of food, but then I look at all these things being said around on the internet about how um apparently Walmart's getting like crazy and I don't know. And people are either taking or not really uh, taking certain products. Like, there was this whole thing about how at one local Walmart. Apparently, everyone was like taking a certain brand of water bottles, but they didn't want to take the Dasani. Like, they didn't want to take the Dasani water. Like, come on. Like, it's Dasani. I get it. I mean, here's the thing though. If you haven't really tried Dasani water before, it's water that I've been told has sort of like a salty taste, if that makes sense. But yeah. Yeah, so there's that. I don't know. I feel like this whole snowstorm thing. Whoa, what is going on out there? I don't think you can barely see anything. Hold on, you want me to? Oh wow, that screen just went bright on me. Hold on. Here, let me show you. Let me show you what's going on outside. Hold on, let me show you. Or at least try to. Did you see it? Okay, obviously I feel like no one can really like see the whole thing, but there's just snow like really coming down. It's like really coming down. And back to here. And excuse me. Oh wow, I just noticed that pimple right there on my forehead. Yep. We all get pimples, people, even as adults. Let me just yeah, I feel like them. So yeah, that's what's going on outside. And apparently it's supposed to last up until like tomorrow morning. So as for today, basically, yeah. I hope you enjoyed that little I don't know what that was, if I'm being honest. I don't know what that was. I think that it's crazy that the snow. Hey, my favorite human. Yay, bestie. Oh, hello there, Chanatan. Yeah, I always end up not saying people's users' names right. I feel so terrible. I'm sorry. But yeah, if you just saw what I showed you, basically it's pretty much snowing. It's snowing like a lot. And I don't know when it's ever gonna stop. Well, no, I do know. I just said. They said it's supposed to stop at in the morning, but I'm not a weatherman, and so far the weatherman has. I mean, I wouldn't say like the weatherman had lied, but I think it was just like a little over exaggerations of the weather for the past few days, but yeah. The only thing though, the only thing though that I am grateful for, are you the northern part of USA? Where do you live? So I live alongside one of the East Coast states. Specifically, I live in the state of North Carolina. And where I live at, North Carolina has like two different, I don't know how to explain it, but there's a certain part of North Carolina that's in the Appalachian Mountains, and then there's another part of North Carolina that's more near the coast. It's more near the coast, if that makes sense. So, and I just so happen to live in a part of North Carolina where I live near the coast. And I am very grateful that I do because apparently when the snowstorm supposedly did hit, it only hit a certain part of North Carolina and it was just It was more so in the mountain area, not the coastal area, but yeah. So there's that. However, though, now that here's what I got now. Okay. However, though, they told us that we still got to be prepared, and hopefully we don't lose power. I mean, I hope not. Excuse me, sorry. But I can still taste the vegetables. Don't ask. I had some vegetables for lunch. I had vegetables for lunch because that's also a part of my weird New Year's resolution, which is to try and be more healthier. But yeah. So if you're curious about like which part where I live at more in North Carolina, like I just said, I live more near the coastal part, meaning like the beach areas, than I do in any of the mountain areas, if that makes sense. So hopefully that clears up a few things. But yeah, anyways, the this snowstorm craziness has pretty much just made me feel, well, no, it's made a lot of people feel kind of crazy if I'm gonna be honest. Like, here's the thing though. I feel like a lot of stores, and this is what was told to me in a few of the news reports or a few coworkers. I think a lot of them were like saying all these things about having to prepare for a snowstorm because this year for Christmas, it really wasn't much Christmassy because, well, the reason why I say Christmassy is because literally where I lived at, the next day for Christmas, it was hot and, well, not like hot, hot, but specifically more like, it was in the 70s, really, if I'm remembering correctly. And yeah, it was pretty exhausting for everybody. And if I'm also being honest, literally that same day, there was like nothing much going on for like anybody for Christmas. Like it was Christmas, but it didn't feel like Christmas if I'm gonna be honest. And I think that really sucked because everyone always says like they look forward to Christmas, they look forward to Christmas, but this year Christmas was just not Christmasing. And then people are saying now, since the whole snowstorm chaos has been happening recently, people are now saying that the Christmas chaos is like a makeup for Christmas or the holidays or whatever. Which, I mean, I don't know what to say about that. I mean, your guess is as good as mine on that one. So, yeah. But here's the thing though, not only has like this weather been crazy for everybody, but it's also been crazy for people like me, specifically with our work schedules. Like, I've literally only worked like one day last week, and then I had worked one day this week. And I know to a lot of people that's like, oh, well, you only just had to work one day. That actually seems like a lot of fun. No, it wasn't, because even though I did get paid pretty decently this time from my last paycheck, I do know with this next one, it's really not going to be a lot for me. And like I said earlier in this live, I have bills I gotta pay, okay? I have bills I gotta pay. And, well, I gotta be making that money. Plus, my New Year's resolutions is one of my New Year's resolutions is to save up more money. So, yeah. And currently the household, and this is just gonna be me at the top of my just a random thing I'm gonna say. Currently, right now, the household I'm in smells like chicken. Smells like chicken. Because one of my family members is apparently making something with chicken broth or I don't know. But yeah. Okay. So here's what I got now. Here, I'll show you. Here's what I got now. That's what I got. Let me just fix up this little area right here. And then afterwards, I'm just going to go with I'm just going to go with the black paintbrush and just start painting over the lines that are black. And yeah. But anyways, so I did call one of my bosses earlier today, and they did say like supposedly I'm gonna be back on Monday and be back on my work schedule. And I think my coworker might be as happy as well because he'll finally like get a few days off from work, which honestly I think good for him because I've seen my coworker end up in the hospital way too many times to count. And the fact that he'll now get back his normal days off is just, to me, it's like a blessing for him. Like, I'm very happy for him because that means he'll finally get the break he needed, and I will also be going back to my regular work schedule. That's all I can say. Yeah, sorry. Currently, also right now, I'm really trying to like go in with the purple here because I feel like that's what because I feel like this is what I need to help sort of like complete the background for one of these. And not gonna lie, I almost feel like I used a little bit too much purple. Like I feel like what I did was just a little bit of overkill. So yeah. But I will say though, I do like how the background of these colors kind of like, I mean, I don't know if you can see it, but they almost like blend very well. They almost seem like they blend very well with each other. Like, hold on, I'll show you in a moment after I'm done painting this. But yeah, I really do like how all these kind of just like blend well with each other, specifically with the backgrounds. But yeah, I'll let you be the judge of that when I post this. Because, like I said, um, in all my live streams, I always end up posting like what I would assume is like what I call the finished product of these. So, there. Okay. So here we go. I'm gonna show you this now. Ta-da. Obviously, the purple's kind of almost like exaggerated a little bit, but yeah. So now what I'm gonna do is basically I'm gonna go in with the black paintbrush, or yeah, the black ink, and just trying to like fix up certain areas and try to make it look a little bit more decent now, or fix it up just a little bit. So yeah. But anyways, so let's see, what was I saying? Oh yeah, so my work schedule has been pretty crazy, and I'm just glad that once I get that final notice from my boss about my work schedule, I will be happy to go back on my normal work schedule, which means everything will finally go back to being normal. Well, for me, my normal work schedule ish. That's all I can say. plus I do get paid next week, but also like I said earlier in this live, I am not really gonna be like expecting a lot or like expecting like a big chunk of money. Like I'm almost gonna be expecting like the same amount I got paid the first time I started working at the hotel where I work at because but when I first started working at the hotel, I was working there like only weekends and they paid me like $10 an hour. Now, okay, now I am now I'm just working 4 days. Although I did work five, but then they cut off my Fridays, so yeah. Which did it affect my pay? Yes, but I'm learning not to be too bitter about it. Even though my voice does make it sound like I am bitter, I'm trying not to be. Okay. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna go in like fix the eyes a little bit. And just do what I gotta do. Also, wow, I can't believe like this took me nearly an hour to do. Um, I am shocked. Also, if you hear banging in the back, I don't know if I'm gonna be honest. Because here's the thing though, I think can be very curious to know like what goes on in the background of most of my live streams, I feel like, because no one really knows like what goes on. Or they hear it and, they're curious and I'm gonna be honest, half the time I don't even know. So, yeah. But when I do try though, here's a weird thing though. Every time though, like I try to get answers about what was going on, half the time I would get told something that seems reasonable, while other times just more like, wow, you don't want to tell me nothing. Which is very suspicious in my book, by the way. That's all I can say. And all right. Yep. And ladies and gentlemen, and theys. I feel like I should start using that. Just in case there are people who identify as non-binary, which if you do, I don't judge you for that. Although I only judge assholes. That's really it. I will not judge you for being yourself as long as you're not an asshole to people. Meaning like you're very cruel and vindictive over pretty much things that just don't make sense. And are just cruel. Like all the Trump supporters who also support ICE and which by the way, my heart goes out to everybody who has been a victim to ICE this year and I hope someone on the ICE team grows a brain. Okay? I mean, not to get political or anything, but I feel like ICE just doesn't have a brain. That's all I'm gonna say. Or at least I'm assuming no one does after all the shit that's been going on about ICE. So, yeah. But anyways, here we go. Here's what I assume would be the final product. Like I said, I will be posting this later today, so you can go and comment and tell me what you think. I do love this color though, like right here. I feel like I want to somehow like incorporate that more, but we'll just have to wait and see. But anyways, thank you to everyone who has shown up for my live stream, and shout out to hopefully excuse me, sorry. Hopefully I'm saying your username right. Shout out to Chaitanya in 6706. I'm very sorry if I butchered your username. I don't mean to. I was just trying to make sure I'm saying it right, so if I said it wrong, my apologies. But I do hope you have a good day, and shout out to you. And yeah, and thank you to everyone who's joined my live stream as well. I will be live again tomorrow around 3 p.m. Eastern Time here in the US. Yep, so if you want to, make sure you hit that bell notification so you can be notified when I go live. I will also if you are new here, please subscribe to my channel, as well as hit the like button wherever it is if you enjoyed this live stream. Yeah, that is about it. And I will be live again tomorrow, so make sure that like I said, make sure you turn on the bell notification so you can be notified when I go live tomorrow. And I will have this posted later today, so that way you can tell me what you think. What would you have done differently, and what would you call it? And as always, take care, stay safe, and have a good day. Okay? Mwah. Bye.